Swansea, officially known as the City and County of Swansea, is a coastal city and county in Wales. It is Wales's second largest city and the UK's 25th largest city. Swansea lies within the historic county boundaries of Glamorgan. Situated on the sandy southwest Wales coast, the county area includes the Gower Peninsula and the LLIW uplands. According to its local council, the city and county of Swansea had a population of 241,300 in 2014. The last official census stated that the city, metropolitan and urban areas combined concluded to be a total of 462,000 in 2011, making it the second most populous local authority area in Wales after Cardiff. During its 19th-century industrial heyday, Swansea was a key centre of the copper industry, earning the nickname Copperopolis. Since 2011, Swansea has started to expand into a larger region known as the Swansea Bay City region. After combining with other councils, it now includes Tenby and other parts of West Wales. Its population including these areas an estimated 685,051. The chairman of the new region is Sir Terry Matthews. History. Archaeological finds are mostly confined to the Gower Peninsula, and include items from the Stone Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age. The Romans reached the area, as did the Norsemen. Swansea is thought to have developed as a Viking trading post. Its name may be derived from Svens Island. The reference to an island may refer to a bank at the mouth of the River Towy, or an area of raised ground in marshes. An alternative explanation is that the name derives from the Norse name Swain, and a, which can mean inlet. This explanation supports the tradition that the city was founded by the Danish king Sweyn Forkbeard. The name is pronounced Swansea, S-W-N-Z-I, not Swansea. The Welsh name first appears in Welsh poems at the beginning of the 13th century, as Abertawe. The earliest known form of the modern name is Swainus, which was used in the first charter granted sometime between 1158 and 1184 by William de Newborough, 3rd Earl of Warwick. The charter gave Swansea the status of a borough, granting the townsmen, called burgesses, certain rights to develop the area. A second charter was granted in 1215 by King John. In this charter, the name appears as Swansea. The town seal, which is believed to date from this period, names the town as Swansea. Following the Norman conquest, a marcher lordship was created under the title of Gower. It included land around Swansea Bay as far as the River Towy, the manor of Kilvey beyond the Towy, and the peninsula itself. Swansea was designated chief town of the lordship and received a borough charter sometime between 1158 and 1184. Industrial Revolution. The port of Swansea initially traded in wine, hides, wool, cloth and later in coal. At the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the combination of port, local coal, and trading links with the West Country, Cornwall and Devon, meant that Swansea was the logical place to site copper smelting works. Smelters were operating by 1720 and proliferated. Following this, more coal mines were opened and smelters were opened and flourished. Over the next century and a half, works were established to process arsenic, zinc and tin and to create tin plate and pottery. The city expanded rapidly in the 18th and 19th centuries, and was termed Copperopolis. The Swansea smelters became so adept at recovering gold and silver from complex ores that in the 1800s they received ore concentrates from the United States, for example from Arizona in the 1850s, and Colorado in the 1860s. From the late 17th century to 1801, Swansea's population grew by 500%. The first official census indicated that, with 6,099 inhabitants, Swansea had become significantly larger than Glamorgan's county town, Cardiff, and was the second most populous town in Wales behind Merthyr Tydfil. However, the census understated Swansea's true size. As much of the built-up area lay outside the contemporary boundaries of the borough, the total population was actually 10,117. Much of Swansea's growth was due to migration from within and beyond Wales. In 1881, more than a third of the borough's population had been born outside Swansea and Glamorgan, and just under a quarter outside Wales. 20th century. Through the 20th century, heavy industries in the town declined, leaving the lower Swansea Valley filled with derelict works and mounds of waste products from them. The Lower Swansea Valley scheme reclaimed much of the land. The present enterprise zone was the resultant of the many original docks. Only those outside the city continue to work as docks. North Dock is now Park Towie and South Dock became the marina. Little city centre evidence, beyond parts of the road layout, remains from medieval Swansea. Its industrial importance made it the target of bombing, known as the Blitz in World War II, and the centre was flattened completely. The city has 3 Grade 1 listed buildings, these being the Guildhall, Swansea Castle and the Morriston Tabernacle. Whilst the city itself has a long history, many of the city centre buildings are post-war, as much of the original centre was destroyed by World War II bombing on the 19, 20 and the 21st of February 1941. Within the city centre are the ruins of the castle, the marina, the Glyn Vivian Art Gallery, Swansea Museum, the Dillon Thomas Centre, the Environment Centre, and the Market, which is the largest covered market in Wales. It backs onto the Quadrant Shopping Centre, which opened in 1978, and the adjoining St David's Centre opened in 1982. Other notable modern buildings are the BT Tower, built around 1970, Alexandra House opened in 1976, County Hall opened in July 1982. Swansea Leisure Centre opened in 1977. It has undergone extensive refurbishment which retained elements of the original structure and reopened in March 2008. Swansea was granted city status in 1969, to mark Prince Charles's investiture as the Prince of Wales. The announcement was made by the Prince on 3 July 1969, during a tour of Wales. It obtained the further right to have a Lord Mayor in 1982. Governance. Local government. In 1887, Swansea was a township at the mouth of the River Towie, covering 4,562 acres in the county of Glamorgan. There were 3 major extensions to the boundaries of the borough, first in 1835, when Morriston, St Thomas, Landor, St John juxta Swansea, and part of Llansamlet parish were added, and again in 1889 when areas around CWMBWRLA and Trwyddfa were included, and in 1918 when the borough was enlarged to include the whole of the ancient parish of Swansea, the southern part of Llangyfelach parish, all of Llansamlet parish, Oystermouth urban district and Brunnau parish. In 1889, Swansea attained county borough status, and it was granted city status in 1969, which was inherited by the Swansea district when it was formed by the merger of the borough and Gower Rural District in 1974. In 1996, Swansea became one of 22 unitary authorities with the addition of part of the former LLIW Valley Borough. The new authority received the name, City and County of Swansea. Swansea was once a staunch stronghold of the Labour Party which, until 2004, had overall control of the council for 24 years. The Liberal Democrats were the largest group in the administration that took control of Swansea Council in the 2004 local elections until the 2012 council elections saw the council return to Labour control. For 2009-2010, the Lord Mayor of Swansea was Councillor Alan Lloyd, and in 2010-2011 Richard Louis was the Lord Mayor. The Lord Mayor changes in May each year. Welsh politics. The National Assembly constituencies are: Gower, current is Edwina Hart, Labour since 1999. Swansea East, current is Mike Hedges, Labour since 2011. Swansea West. Current AM is Julie James, Labour since 2011. The city is also part of the South Wales West Regional Constituency and is served by Peter Black AM, Altaf Hussain AM, Susie Davies AM, Bethan Jenkins AM. UK politics. The UK parliamentary constituencies in Swansea are Gower. Current MP is Byron Davies, Conservative since 2015. Swansea East. Current MP is Carolyn Harris, Labour since 2015. Swansea West. Current MP is Geraint Davies, Labour since 2010. Twinning. Swansea is twinned with Mannheim, Germany; Sinop, Turkey; Pau, France; Cork, Ireland; Bydgoszcz, Poland. It also has a friendship link with Nantong, China. Geography. Boundaries. The city and county of Swansea local authority area is bordered by unitary authorities of Carmarthenshire to the north, and Neath Port Talbot to the east. Swansea is bounded by Swansea Bay and the Bristol Channel to the south. Physical description. The local government area is 378 square kilometres in size, about 2% of the area of Wales. It includes a large amount of open countryside and a central urban and suburban belt. Swansea can be roughly divided into 4 physical areas. To the north are the LLIW uplands, which are mainly open moorland, reaching the foothills of the Black Mountain. To the west is the Gower Peninsula with its rural landscape dotted with small villages. To the east is the coastal strip around Swansea Bay, cutting through the middle from the southeast. To the northwest is the urban and suburban zone stretching from the Swansea city centre to the towns of Gorseinon and Pontarddulais. The most populated areas of Swansea are Morriston, Sketty and the city centre. The chief urbanised area radiates from the city centre towards the north, south and west, along the coast of Swansea Bay to Mumbles, up the Swansea Valley past Landor and Morriston to Clydach, over Town Hill to CWMBWRLA, Penlan, Treboeth and Forest Vark, through uplands, Sketty, Killay to Dunvant, and east of the river from St. Thomas to Bonnerman, Clansamlet and Birch Grove. A second urbanised area is focused on a triangle defined by Gowerton, Gorseinon and Lucca along with the satellite communities of Penllygir and Pontarddulais. About 3/4 of Swansea is bordered by the sea, the Lucca estuary, Swansea Bay and the Bristol Channel. The 2 largest rivers in the region are the Towy, which passes the city centre, and the Lucca, which flows on the northern border with Carmarthenshire. In the local authority area, the geology is complex, providing diverse scenery. The Gower Peninsula was the first area in the United Kingdom to be designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty. Excluding the urbanised area in the southeastern corner, the whole of the Gower Peninsula is part of an AONB. Swansea has numerous urban and country parklands. The region has featured regularly in the Wales in Bloom Awards. The geology of the Gower Peninsula ranges from Carboniferous limestone cliffs along its southern edge from Mumbles to Worm's Head and the salt marshes and dune systems of the Lucca estuary to the north. The eastern, southern and western coasts of the peninsula are lined with numerous sandy beaches, both wide and small, separated by steep cliffs. The South Wales coalfield reaches the coast in the Swansea area. This had a great bearing on the development of the city of Swansea and other nearby towns such as Morriston. The inland area is covered by large swathes of grassland common overlooked by sandstone heath ridges including the prominent Kevin Bryn. The traditional agricultural landscape consists in a patchwork of fields characterized by walls, stone-faced banks and hedgerows. Valleys cut through the peninsula and contain rich deciduous woodland. Much of the local authorities area is hilly, with the main area of upland being located in the council ward of Mower. Areas of high land up to 185 metres range across the central section and form the hills of Kilvey, Town Hill and Lynmore, separating the centre of Swansea from its northern suburbs. Kevin Bryn, a ridge of high land, forms the backbone of the Gower Peninsula. Rotherley Down, Hardings Down and Clanmadoc Hill form land features up to 193 metres high. The highest point is located at Pen Lake Estelle at 374 metres on the northern border with Carmarthenshire. Climate typical of the west of Britain, Swansea has a temperate oceanic climate. As part of a coastal region, it experiences a milder climate than the mountains and valleys inland. This same location, though, leaves Swansea exposed to rain-bearing winds from the Atlantic. Figures from the Met Office make Swansea the wettest city in Britain. In midsummer, Swansea's temperatures can reach into the high 20s Celsius. Demography. The population of the Swansea built-up area within the unitary authority boundaries in 2011 was about 179,485, and the council population was 238,700. The other built-up areas within the unitary authority are centred on Gorseinon and Pontarddulais. In 2011, the Gorseinon built-up area had a population of 20,581 and the Pontarddulais built-up area had a population of 9,073. However, the wider urban area including most of Swansea Bay has a total population of 300,352. Over 218,000 individuals are white, 1,106 are of mixed race, 2,215 are Asian, mainly Bangladeshi, 300 are black, and 1,195 belong to other ethnic groups. The Office for National Statistics 2010 mid-year population estimate for the city and county of Swansea is 232,500. Around 82% of the population were born in Wales and 13% born in England. 13.4% were Welsh speakers. From 1804 until the 1920s, Swansea experienced continuous population growth. The 1930s and 1940s was a period of slight decline. In the 1950s and 1960s the population grew and then fell in the 1970s. The population grew again in the 1980s only to fall again in the 1990s. In the 2000s, so far, Swansea is experiencing a small amount of population growth. The local authority area had an estimated population of 228,100 in 2007. Culture. The Royal Institution of South Wales was founded in 1835 as the Swansea Literary and Philosophical Society. Performing arts. The Grand Theatre in the centre of the city is a Victorian theatre which celebrated its centenary in 1997 and which has a capacity of a little over 1,000 people. It was opened by the celebrated opera singer Adelina Patti and was refurbished from 1983 to 1987. The annual program ranges from pantomime and drama to opera and ballet. Llewellyn Theatre Company is a professional theatre company based in Swansea who perform at the Grand Theatre and the Dylan Thomas Centre. The Taliesin building on the university campus has a theatre, opened in 1984. Other theatres include the Dylan Thomas Theatre near the marina, and one in Penarale Leisure Centre near Gorseinon. In the summer, outdoor Shakespeare performances are a regular feature at Oystermouth Castle, and Singleton Park is the venue for a number of parties and concerts, from dance music to outdoor proms. A folk festival is held on Gower. Standing near Victoria Park on the Coast Road is the Patti Pavilion. This was the winter garden from Adelina Patti's Craig Wynose estate in the upper Swansea Valley, which she donated to the town in 1918. It is used as a venue for music shows and fairs. The Brangwyn Hall is a multi-use venue with events such as the graduation ceremonies for Swansea University. Every autumn, Swansea hosts a festival of music and the arts, when international orchestras and soloists visit the Brangwyn Hall. The Brangwyn Hall is praised for its acoustics for recitals, orchestral pieces and chamber music alike. Swansea is also home to the Palace Theatre. Located at 156 High Street, it is recognisable for its distinctive wedge shape. Originally built in 1888 as a traditional music hall, the building's original name was the Pavilion. During its lifetime, the building has been used as a bingo hall as well as a nightclub. Festivals. Swansea hosted the National Eisteddfod in 1863, 1891, 1907, 1926, 1964, 1982 and 2006. The 2006 event occupied the site of the former Velindre tinplate works to the north of the city and featured a strikingly pink main tent. In 2009, Swansea Council launched Wales' only week-long St David's Week festival in venues throughout the city. The Beginning and Do Not Go Gentle are festivals in the uplands area of the city where Dylan Thomas was born and lived for 23 years. Welsh language. There are many Welsh language chapels and churches in the area. Welsh medium education is a popular and growing choice for both English and Welsh-speaking parents, leading to claims in the local press in autumn 2004 that, to accommodate demand, the council planned to close an English medium school in favour of opening a new Welsh medium school. The Welsh medium school is named Bryn Tywi, and is located in the buildings of the former Penlan Boys' School, which itself was merged with the girls' school at Mynydd Bach on that site to become Daniel James Community School. This arrangement was a subject of considerable controversy in the period leading up to Bryntor's inauguration. 45% of the rural council ward are able to speak Welsh, as can 38% of the ward of Pontarddulais. Clydach, Kingsbridge and Upper Lucca all have levels of more than 20%. By contrast, the urban St Thomas has one of the lowest figures in Wales, at 6.4%, a figure only barely lower than Penderry and Town Hill wards. Food. Local produce includes cockles and lava bread, which are sourced from the Lucca estuary. Local Gower salt marsh lamb is produced from sheep which are raised in the salt marshes of the Lucca estuary. Notable people. See also category, people from Swansea and list of people from Swansea. People from Swansea are known locally as Swansea Jacks, or just Jacks. The source of this nickname is not clear. Some attribute it to Swansea Jack, the life-saving dog. Throughout the 19th century, the Vivian family did much to develop Swansea into a city. Their wealth and influence came from large copper mining, smelting and trading businesses in Swansea, and is still visible today in their former family residences, Singleton Abbey, Sketty Hall, Clyne Castle and Clyne Gardens. Henry Vivian became the first Lord Swansea in 1893. Swansea's most famous daughter is Hollywood actress Catherine Zeta-Jones, who still owns her home in Mumbles. Swansea is also the hometown of 2013 ITU Triathlon World Champion Non Stanford. The thriller writer, Mark Ellis, was educated in Swansea. On the literary stage, the poet Dylan Thomas is perhaps the best known. He was born in the town and grew up at 5 Cwmdonkin Drive, Uplands, where he lived for 23 years and produced two-thirds of his published work from his tiny bedroom, which has been faithfully recreated as it may have been in 1934 and is open for house tours, events, Edwardian dinner parties and overnight stays. There is a memorial to him in the nearby Cwmdonkin Park. His take on Swansea was that it was an ugly lovely town. In the 1930s, Thomas was a member of a group of local artists, writers and musicians known as the Cardamar Gang. As they frequently met in the Cardamar Cafe, which was in Castle Street, Swansea, until bombed during the Second World War.